Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Thursday and another live by me, Bev at Bee Crafty. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late there. You know, couldn't get the old techie tech to do what I wanted it to do. What can I say? It happens. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me. We are going to be doing some art journaling today in an MDF journal. Okay, so what happened was, right, you know my, sorry if you joined me on Try Out Tuesday, because this is going to be a repetition of a story I've already told. I have been doing recently quite a lot of journaling in my notebook to prove that you don't need a specific journal to do art journaling in. Whatever you have is absolutely fine. And I've been making some beautiful pages that I'm exceedingly happy with. Unfortunately, though, I have misplaced this notebook. And I have a terrible fear it's accidentally fallen into a bin or something. But the whole point is, at this moment in time, I can't find it. So on Tuesday, I was like, I know what I haven't done on a live. An MDF journal. So I made this page here. You can catch up with that on the Bee Crafty Facebook page or on the YouTube channel. But what I want to do is I want to continue with that so it gets completed. Because I know that you... not all of you, so I don't want to be accused of generalising, but I'm still going to do it. I know that you, like me, sometimes struggle in completing projects, okay? Completing projects is not always easy because as creatives, I think we generally come up with an idea and we start that idea and then that generates another idea. And whilst we can be very creative in terms of generating ideas, we know we don't necessarily have the memory to remember them after we've finished. So we tend to move on straight away and then try and come back and we never do and what have you. So that's why I was thinking, right, I'm going to crack on with this MDF journal now. I have got another page that I started again. If you'd like to see how that was done, that's also on that live that you can catch up with on the Bee Crafty Facebook page or on YouTube. Okay? But I'm going to finish that separately and I thought we'd just try and complete another full one today. Okay, so this is my third page of my journal. If you haven't seen the Bee Crafty MDF journals, there are 3 different sorts, okay? We have this one with the rounded tab here, all right? And what it is, all of these tabs line up, that's the inside, you see, so that you have the 5 tabs in stages as they come down the book. Okay, we also have one that has square tabs if that's something you would prefer, and we also have one with indents instead, which is just fun for a different look. So we do have those, and we do have some bigger ones as well. Hello, Caroline. So it's just a case of whatever really suits you. But I'm going to be working on the third, you can't really say signature because it's MDF, but the third page of our MDF book today, and I'm quite excited about it. I think the nice thing about working on the MDF surfaces, hello Shazar, the pirate herself. The nice thing about working on the MDF surfaces is they can withstand a lot, okay? All of the Bee Crafty MDF is FSC approved, it's all sustainably sourced and all that sort of thing, and it is actually laser cut. See, I won't even go to just saying it's laser cut here in the UK. It is laser cut less than half a mile from where I'm currently sitting, okay? Because my dad cuts it all right? So that's the nice thing. So it's all, we can trace it very, very easily, especially if Billy's providing a cuppa that day. So, you know what I mean? It's a brilliant surface to work on. You can use inks, paints, your sprays, your gloss sprays go on it absolutely beautiful. Your Dilutions ink sprays. I will say if you're using Dilutions ink spray or Distress Stain spray, that's where I would possibly gesso or prime first. However, if you're using an oxide spray or oxide ink, if you're using, unless it's a yellowy colour or a pale colour like old paper or something like that, you don't really have to. The colour will be okay. It might be slightly darker, but nothing major. Okay? So, but that's one of those playthings. And if you haven't used MDF before and you fancy maybe having a play with it before you go on something like that, we do have some MDF tags and stuff. But all I will say is if you do have a play with your MDF and you're like, that didn't work or I don't like the effect, don't worry about it. You can sand it back or you can prime it again. Okay, so there's nothing wasted. You can just go again. It's absolutely fine. All right, now for this page here, I started off with a Bee Crafty Catalyst paper, and we're going to do that again today. This one is from set 1, I believe. Sam will be able to confirm that for you. And when she does, I will confirm it for the video as well. So the Bee Crafty Catalyst papers, these are a lightweight but quite durable Japanese rice paper. Okay, they are much sturdier than our stamping tissue. I'm not just saying that about other stamping tissue. It's a different thing. So they're sturdier than stamping tissue and other collage papers because they are that Japanese rice paper. It's just slightly more dense. Okay. That being said, you can still work with it to make it more translucent. Again, you can go back and check because this book page print isn't actually part of the collage, the catalyst paper. It's underneath. Okay, so again, I can show you how to do. You can see how to do that in what will be the previous video on YouTube. Or the Try It Out Tuesday. So, you know, we're going to use this because it's such a good base. And what this does is it gives you a leaping off point in terms of colours if you're a bit stuck mojo-wise and you don't know what to go. And obviously with your MDF pages, you can really sort of move them around and see how you feel. All right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some collage medium directly on. It is set 1. Huzzah for me. You know, I can't always tell. It's one of those things. I can tell you who designed it. I can tell you who made it. I can tell you what colour she was using. But what we've actually named it when it goes on the website, completely different thing. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on here with some collage medium. Now, I do very often water collage medium down. But as I'm not worried about the catalyst paper going translucent for this page, I don't really need to. I tend to add more water if that's the effect I'm after. Now, I'm actually going to put this one sideways because I really want to concentrate on those blues and yellows. Okay? And then we're going to go over the top. Tell you what, though, I don't think I put my matte medium onto my tab. And that is important. Okay, so let's just put the lid back on that a second. And then we're going to work over, okay? And we're going to work over putting that right to the edges, yeah? I know what you're thinking, the hearts are sideways, and that bit of text upside down. It doesn't matter. We're formulating a background. Now, you will see, you can see the tone of the MDF coming through here, okay? That's all right. We're not worried about that either. But again, if that worries you when you are applying your catalyst papers, you can prime them first. All right, so we're just going to put this on until you can really comfortably see the outline of your page. This will make it much easier to have tidy edges afterwards. Okay, so you can easily see now the complete outline of our MDF page. All right, so we're going to put that to the side to dry whilst we get some of the other bits ready. Okay. Now, so we've decided almost pretty assuredly we're going to go with blues and yellows. Okay. Now, I'm thinking we're going to go for a prize ribbon and because there's some orangey tones in that paper, you know, I'm actually going to go with, they're going to appear on top, a fossilised amber. And I might even put some spice marmalade in there to mix it up. Okay, now what you do have to be wary of, if you are mixing an orange with a blue on your mat and things like that, you can quite easily get brown because you've got all 3 primary colours there. You've got your red and yellow and your blue. Okay, but that's no reason not to use them in my opinion. No reason whatsoever. So, the image, the main image, this is going to be a very doodle art based MDF album, I've decided. So I'm going to be using the Dancing Daisy from our doodle art range. Okay, this is the tallest flower really that we have, because I wanted it to take up the best part of the set. You do have a smaller one there to use too, but I really wanted it to be a really good focus image. So you can see when we put it on one of these pages, I'll just grab this one quickly to show you, you know, it's going to be a really sort of dominating image, which I'm really excited about. Okay. Oh, tiddly ping pong. Alrighty, let me turn that off, sorry. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to colour these in now. Now, I will say a question we get asked a lot with regards to our doodle art stamps is, can we completely copy the backing card, you know, for colours and absolutely. Okay, when we first started doing the doodle art stamps, we did them with just black and white, and we did some colouring in on the back. But basically after a customer poll, or a Bee Crafty's poll that we did on the Bee Crafty Facebook page, we asked, would you prefer to have coloured in backings or not coloured in backings? Now, I'm not going to lie, it was a very close vote. So therefore, we do coloured in backings. Okay, that's going to make me chuckle if I think about it too much. We do coloured in backings for the doodle art. But for the art stamps, they have black and white backings, okay? That way, everybody has something. All right, so we're just going to take some of this fossilised amber first. And we're going to go into the centre of our dancing daisy, okay? This was stamped with VersaFine Clay just before I got live, but I've also heat embossed it. You don't know if you can see a bit of a telly twinkle there. Yeah, there you go. Just to make sure... In all honesty, I do that just to make sure it's dry, okay? My clear embossing powder, I honestly think a clear embossing powder can be invaluable if you're stamping images to cut out and stuff, because it means you can just put that over whatever you've stamped in, because aside from archival and things, like your VersaFine Clay, your other VersaFines, and they don't dry instantly. So, sorry, I'm laughing. But just going over with some clear embossing powder, it almost seals it, so then you can get on with your colouring without having to worry. Okay, now if you look at where I've used the fossilised amber here, okay, you can see it does sort of have those pinky tones. Fossilised amber, if you have been here before, you might know is one of the reasons we actually started to stock Distress Oxides. It was my first ever oxide I tried, and I was that impressed with it. That's when I decided to stock them. Okay, obviously also, if you are colouring watercolour wise with your into your images, heat embossing it means you can just go over the lines and it's really, really easy. And anything that makes your life easier when you're crafting is good. Right, here we go. Put some of this orange in now. I sort of muddied it there, but I've dropped my painty towel, so I'm just going to get these colours in here so it's more defined. Now you can see that Spice Marmalade, it's not a million miles away from that fossilised amber once it's oxidised, because your oxidised fossilised amber has those pinky tones to it. And obviously pink and yellow gives you orange, don't they? I shouldn't say obviously, that's rude, because it implies if you don't know, you should know. Okay, so let's just go in with a bit more of that Spice Marmalade into here. Okay, now I'm going with some more Spice Marmalade, a little bit more watered down. We're going to track it up into the blue and move that edge. What I'm trying to do is try not to make it too greeny, because obviously I've done a green page here. Not that it matters. And then I'm just going to go and I'm going to add a bit more water to where the join is. Just to create more of a flow. More of a flow. And then I'm just going to go back in again with some more sort of not watered down Spice Marmalade. I might need a little bit more of that. So my brush is quite dry at this point, just to go right at the edges to make it really marmalade-y, to make sure it's obvious that that was intentional. Because it was. Okay. And I think that looks pretty cool. I actually really, really like that. Nice. And you see, you wouldn't necessarily think. Blue and orange. I'll tell you what, we're going to get a little bit, that's a bit yellowy as well, so let me wash off my brush. Get a bit more of that prize ribbon. So we can go really blue just around that section of the flower. Lovely. I'm really impressed with those colourways. I did not think it would work that way. Well, that well, should I say. Okay. Now we're going to get our brush wet again. And we are going to add some prize ribbon to our fossilised amber this time. We're going to come down the stem into the leaf. You can, of course, be very careful about this if you like. In the words of Neil Buchanan, I'm just doing it very quick to show you. But this is the joy of your doodle art, okay? They're very relaxed. They're relaxed in how I drew them. They're relaxed in how you need to colour them. You don't need to add in tons and tons of effort, for want of a better description. And you get absolutely, beautiful results. Quick, easy, fun and funky. And this works with all of the doodle art, from the dragonfly to the birds to the dancing daisy, and there's the houses. Brilliant. Oh, I should get the houses out. Not today, not today. Right, so I'm going to give that a quick waft with my heat tool. Oh, hello. My heat tool cable's all in a tangle, like somebody twisted it up for the fun of it. And I can guarantee you if they did, it wasn't me. Okay, so it's just a little waft. Because then we can go in and add some of our white pen details. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to have to lift that up to show you again. It's so pretty. Like, it's so pretty. You feel free to get bored of me telling you that if you like, but it's not going to change a thing because it is so pretty. Alrighty, so then I'm going to take my white pen and I'm going to add in some little dots. Sorry, the light's shimmering a bit, and I thought it might be something I was doing, but I don't think it is. Alright, I'm going to add those in down each petal. You don't have to be overly concerned about their spacing or trajectory. That's a good word for a Thursday afternoon. It's just adding in a little bit of fun. And these are also great if you're worried your blending wasn't particularly good. Not that I worry about that, not because, you know, I think I'm the best blender in the world. I just don't think it's worth worrying about. Okay, we just go in here. But as I said to my sister today, you do you, you know. And then I'm going to go up this leaf here and do the same, some little dots. This one down here. I'll tell you what, for a bit of fun, we'll add a little, this is quite light on here, so it's not going to show up loads anyway. Do a little faux stitch down the stem. Absolutely lovely. Right, let's get our piece of MDF back in. I have cut myself out 2 of these accessory pieces from the Dancing Daisy stamp. I haven't decided if I'm going to use them yet, so that's why I haven't coloured them. But I have put my blending mat to the side with the colours still on. Haven't wiped them off or anything, just in case. Okay, let's have a look at this. Nope, not dry yet. So when I am covering MDF. On the whole, I do like it to dry in its own time. I just think you get better adhesion, personally. But, you know, can't have everything we want, apparently. So my husband keeps telling me, bless his little cotton socks. It's like he doesn't know who he's dealing with. So we're going to just encourage that dry. I'm not going to force it. That sounds a bit aggressive. We're just going to encourage it dry. Okay, over our MDF. Here we go. Oh, so the board I'm using to dry on, this is one of the brown non-stick craft sheets. They are available in 2 different sizes on the Bee Crafty website. I stick it to a board, so this is my heating board, so that I don't risk anything underneath if I've got to do some encouraging to dry. The reason I don't blend on it is because it's brown, basically. And if I'm mixing colours, blending colours, I want to be able to see the colour it's going to be without the brown hint underneath, because, you know, it's like why colouring in a white light is better than colouring in a yellowy light, because it affects the colours and so on and so forth. And you're not allowed to heat on this because it'll bend it. And you're not allowed to throw it on the floor either, because that's just me. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to carry on. From here, oh, first of all, I'm going to get my tell me what this is, people. It's a paintbrush. Okay, and we're just going to poke through our book ring holes. With your MDF journals, you do get 2 book rings with it. Okay. Because that is a pain in the bum to do later when, you know. And I don't try and cut my paper size, because you get a much neater edge to just sand it off. Okay, so we're going to go around. What this also does, in my opinion, is it preserves the integrity of more of the rest of the paper, because you're literally only taking off what you need to cover that sheet. No more, no less. Okay, so you get the finish you want. This is me just double checking. See, there's some fibrey bits there. Lovely. Okay, so from there, we're then going to add in some more detail. I'm going to grab an Inkable, whatever. Okay, so but don't we think that, I think that looks rather magnificent myself, because where the flower sit isn't on top of that major blue bit, so the orange makes it pop. It's almost like I did it on purpose. And if you didn't know me as well as you do, you'd probably think I did. But here we are. All right. I think we're going to go in. Wait, I'm just checking my Inkables right now. No to the coffee stain script. Okay, so next up we're going to have a look at flicking through. So many. We have so many 6x6 Inkables on the website. Please go and check them out. You will not be disappointed. And a lot of the patterns on your catalyst paper, okay, match up to Bee Crafty Inkables. For example, this one here matches up to the big one, Egg Timers. So if you're using Bee Crafty Inkables with it, you can coordinate it with the backing paper, so it all looks like it was created by you. which of course the finished project is. Now, do you know what? We are going to go for the coffee stain script. Yes, we are. And we're going to do a script up in that corner, which has Essence de Marmalade. And that's just going to bring a hint of that orange out on to the corner. Bloomin' lovely. And then in the bottom corner we will swap over and go for the blue, the prize ribbon down in this corner. Which is sort of in and around the hearts. Fantastic. All right. We're then going to go to our tags. This is very similar to how I created this one. Like I say, you can catch up with that to find something to use our grit paste with. Now, the other night, I very nearly, instead of what I did select, I very nearly selected these leaves. And I'm wondering if these leaves, if I turn it up the other way, either side of that flower, would be rather magnificent. I could actually just, they could go up the way. Do we like the leaves? Do we think the leaves? Or do we think to go for another swirly doohickey? No, we're not going to go for that. That's got little dragonflies on it, so I'm going to do that with the butterfly because I did the butterfly with the dragonfly. It all makes sense to me. We're going to go for the leaves. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that a little bit further down. And I'm going to get 2 clips to hold it in place. Okay, and then I'm going to turn that upside down so that I can draw the paste down the way. I'm going to get my little bitty palette knife. It's actually a little bit bendy, but that's okay. And I'm going to get my grit paste. And we are going to sorry, I've gone quiet, I'm concentrating. That's it, and just load our leaves up. Put them in there. Such concentration, I know. I'm actually going to get a larger palette knife. me scrape off the excess. All of our Inkables are 350 micron mylar, whether you're using Dinkables, tags, or big ones, or anything like that. So you're going to get that definition. You don't need to leave a thick layer of texture paste on there to get that definition, okay? In Inkables we trust. So let's lift that out. And then you've got your beautiful leaves on there. Now, what I do, because someone asked me what I did with it the other day. So this is my cup of painty water, okay? If I'm using Inkables tags, I just put them in like that. And then that stops them drying out before I finish. So they're easy to clean after and I can get all the texture paste off. Okay. No, I wasn't actually sticking my tongue out. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. All right. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to get my white pen. Okay. And I'm going to add in a faux stitch. I've done it with this page here, and I think I have decided that I'm going to add it to all of the pages. I think it gives a really nice edge. If you were working in paler colours, or you could do it with your Pigma Micron, you know, let's face it, I think a blue would have looked lovely around this edge as well. So, you know, you can alter that, you can adjust it, you don't have to do it at all. I just really, really like it. So that's as good a reason as any when you're crafting. Questions that I've had asked this week. I love doing questions and answering them on, because it means everybody gets to hear the answer to questions. You know, like at school, when you're at school and you were told you should always ask questions because you won't be the only one wondering. This is why I always try to answer questions on videos. I do answer the person directly, I would like to point out. But I do, and I had someone send me a message today saying that the craft fairs that they attend have been quite quiet this year, and they hadn't been able to sell a lot of their makes. And they were worried about it. They thought, in terms of, did it mean their stuff wasn't good enough, and blah, 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 blah. And this is where we come back to that there doesn't need to be a fish. I'm talking now to give this a little bit of time to dry as well, okay? So, I wouldn't know how to tell you how to price your made things. Because I don't sell made things. And I don't pretend I do. When other hobbyists have a hobby, okay, when they go and play golf, when they go fishing, when they read books, gardening, okay, all of these hobbies cost money, every single one of them. Very rare hobbies that are completely free. And whatever. And nobody expects to make money off these hobbies, okay? My husband, and this is where there doesn't need to be a fish. My husband used to fish a lot. Since we've had the girls, not as much, but he used to fish a lot. And he would spend hours on a riverbank drowning maggots for fun. He never came home with a fish because the fishing was the hobby, not the fish. Okay? So therefore, when you're crafting is the hobby. There doesn't need to be an end product. Okay, if there is and you'd like to try to sell them or, you know, or donate them or anything, that's fantastic and absolutely head away. But don't let the monetary value of the end product determine whether you enjoy what you're doing. There doesn't need to be a fish. The crafting is the hobby, not the finished card or tag or anything like that. Okay, the only person you have to please with it is you. So, do you know what I mean? So have fun with it. You know, don't get too tied up. Okay, so I have to say, grit paste dries at a wonderful speed. However, we're also going to encourage this to dry as well. So let's give this a little waft with the old heat tool. Now, I will say, for those that are exceedingly concerned for my welfare, okay, you are actually allowed to heat set grit paste, I'm absolutely sure. I do sometimes think when you heat it dry, you do get this sort of little puffed up quality, but I quite like that. So you know. Right. And then we are going to put on our dancing daisy. Look at that. I think we can all agree that's a triumph. Absolute triumph in actual fact. I am going to be using the collage medium from my big tub to stick it on, because my squeezy one, universal symbol, my squeezy one that I usually use for putting things on and not big ones, was stolen for a school project yesterday, and I haven't retrieved it as yet, because obviously it wasn't voluntarily delivered back. So, you know. Didn't really expect it to be, but there's always hope, isn't there? You'll be pleasantly surprised with the return. And I'm sorry, you don't get just to claim collage medium. It's mine. If you want to keep collage medium, then you better get your own. All right, I will be cutting off the extra on this stalk. I'm just going to be allowing it to dry. Okay, so now we need... See, you could add some of these on, couldn't you? But I almost think it'd be too much. I think I almost want to just let that just shine. I might add on... See how we've got the faux stitch around these hearts? I might just get some white pen and just add in another row. And this comes back to the add to your catalyst papers. They are literally a catalyst for your creativity. They are not where it starts and ends. They are a catalyst. That's the point. All right, so now we need some sentiments on here. I actually think, because I use Sam's WORDY stickers on here, aspire to inspire, but I think we need a white on black here. Let's have a look. We could go back to Sam's WORDY stickers though. So we used... This was from WORDY Stickers 1 in the black. So if I've got... Oh, hang on, let's have a look at this one. So this is number 2, WORDY Stickers 2 in white. So I'm just going for... I have to say, WORDY Stickers 1 is very, very nice. WORDY Stickers 2, for want of a better description, is a touch more Sam. There's a little bit more sarcasm in there, okay? So, allow me to introduce myself. My alone time is for everyone's safety. Don't speak to me while I'm not listening. Okay? I licked it, so it's mine. Make of that what you will. There's more Sam. Yeah, see, there's more Sam. I think we're going to go for... You are creative. Okay, but I am going to get, hopefully, because there is some within reach of where I am sat, some blue card to layer it onto. Let's have a little look, a little gander. It's only a 12 by 12 sheet. I don't want that. Right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put that there for just a second. Okay, I'm going to get a piece of card. Let's get my blending mat back and my blue brush. Oh, it's linen too. Fancy. All right. And then I'm going to give this a wash with a heat tool to dry it. Shaz, are you saying that, you know, the other half's onto us by saying it's a competition? We did actually have a lady who we actually uniquely had to do that. She put messages on her orders saying, can you actually include a note? She said her husband wasn't mean about it, but it just wasn't worth the conversation. So we put notes in saying, congratulations on your prize. That's more effort than I'm willing to go to for myself. Right, I'm actually going to put some collage medium under there. I normally do. I don't know why I didn't. Because these are, of course, just paper stickers. So if you want them to stick well. And the reason, usually I would go on to what I'm sticking onto, but obviously I've just put water-based ink on it. And I don't want it to move. So that worked out well. Put that there. Give it a little flatten out with my brayer. The bit of the ink's moved. You just can't worry about these things. Mine and Sam's voice are the only ones he recognises, so we get the blame for all the parcels. I feel like we're being set up here, Shaz, I'm not going to lie. Can you hear me now? They're not all us. She's a law unto herself. You are creative. I'm not sure about it now. What do you think? See, I'm looking at it on the screen and it looks well nice, actually. Maybe I just need to commit. Sideways. Like that. Ooh! That's a good idea, Sarah Lou. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Question. How many brushes is Bev going to use today? None if she's using grit paste to stick things down. Have fun at the hairdresser's, Barbara. You get a new spangly do for Christmas. I don't go to the hairdressers. Yes, I know it's obvious. Okay, so we are now nearly 3 pages in to my new MDF journal. And I can't lie, I'm absolutely loving it. Why didn't you make me get an MDF journal out sooner? There you go, it's all your guys' fault. So, yes, so we used the Inkables tags, we used Catalyst papers, the Bee Crafty MDF mini journal, and the Doodle art dancing daisy. Sam has put all of those links into the comments. You will also find the links if you are catching up on YouTube in the description section below. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, please check out the videos here on the Bee Crafty Facebook page, as well as on the Bee Crafty YouTube channel, if that's where you are right now. If you're not on the Bee Crafty YouTube channel right now, if you could pop over there and subscribe, muchos gracias, I would be very happy with that, because it all helps. And thank you very much for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of your week. If there's anything you can't find or anything you need help with, please get in touch. We are here for you. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Bye.